I think it was three separate sets, right? You've got hotels that have no revenue management system at all. They're maybe using some Excel spreadsheets. They're maybe just setting the same price every day and they never change that price. They have some sort of logic, but there's really no statistics behind it. So for them, getting a revenue management system could be extremely beneficial, especially if it has pricing. There's a lot of revenue management systems, and they're fewer and farther between, but that don't actually generate a price. They just generate inventory controls. And what's key to remember is that inventory controls only help you if you're sitting at 85% occupancy or above for a significant portion of the year, right? Because inventory controls is just telling you what to open and close. So if you are never above 85% occupancy, you're always open.
Yeah.
So paying money for a system that tells you to be open is not going to be a long-term benefit.
Very effective.
And I think that was missed. And I think that was missed in a lot of sales pitches. People would get very excited and then realize down the road that, wow, this didn't help me at all. Especially, I think, the examples I know of that were hit hard in 2007, 2008 with the economic depression, hotels that had been at 100% occupancy were down at 10 to 15% occupancy because they didn't change their pricing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until a pricing system was implemented that they started seeing a turnaround in their economies and a change in the performance of their hotels. So when you go from nothing to something, it's always critical to understand, what's going to drive the revenue, what are the claims, and what's going to drive the revenue, and do I have the capacity to set one hotel or two hotels aside and test out this process?
Yeah.
And whether you and that really flows into whether you have a system and you're trying to change your system, or whether you have an existing system and they want to make an enhancement to that. To me, I've never seen an example where there was a failure result because you did testing. I've never seen it be the case where the testing indicated that the revenue management system would not be of benefit, except in those examples where they did the testing and said, hey, wait a second, we never meet the criteria that you've given us. You said we were going to 10% revenue gain.
Yeah. And
now that we're going back, we aren't seeing any revenue gain. And then the vendor has to say, oh, well, that's because of these 15 criteria, which is what we based it on.